we want to go ahead and lay down a foundation and understanding that as administrations change between Democratic and Republican, our military and intelligence community stays relatively linear. Our military and intelligence agencies' goals stay relatively the same regardless of who is representing the country. Their purpose is to continue American interests and impose strategies to fulfill those goals. Once you truly understand that, you can begin to understand that our back and forth with Iran over the years speaks more truth toward the idea that we have a much longer game than just what 4 years and one man can do in office. What Trump does offer our linear military and intelligence community is a much needed distraction through the media circus he engineers like Rembrandt, allowing the Pentagon to conduct long tail goals in this window they have with Trump in office. One such goal the Pentagon and Intel wants to keep on the down low is that during the 2008 budget approval, the Trump administration slipped in the fact that whatever current president is in office, they will now have their own private army and intelligence network at the will directly of the president outside of the CIA and Department of Defense. Trump is currently being consulted by Eric Prince, former head of Blackwater Mercenary Corp, and strategy directives are being handled by Mike Pompeo. Everybody absolutely forgot about that. In fact, I think only the Young Turks covered that, which is probably why that sounds strange to you. I would say, aside from the huge budget he gave the military, what the war and intel community also loves is that he can distract the rest of us with his shiny set of keys, while intelligence and the military kicks in goals they had in mind way before Trump came into office. The 2018 one slipped into the budget will not only allow Republicans to take advantage of this private presidential military and intelligence agency, but Democrats as well when they enter office. So that's probably why there hasn't been a lot of noise about it after it was approved. Now, as for the Soleimani assassination itself, first the narrative was we had a small window to strike, and Trump was given many options. Killing Soleimani was the one he picked after the embassy was attacked. Now the narrative has changed. Now everyone is saying that he made the decision 7 months in advance. This may or may not be to make Trump seem less impulsive. The fact of the matter is, before Trump, probably even before Obama, the Pentagon and our intelligence community knew who Iran's pit bull was, and they had a goal to strike him down. Because of how Trump plays push pull with the media, this allowed the military and CIA a window of national narrative confusion to get something done they had on their list for quite some time. I truly think the killing of Soleimani was to put out Iran's major defender and igniter of the national anti American sentiment. Once out of commission, this would weaken Iran and put them in a position where they would have to renegotiate a stricter anti nuclear agreement, which very well was what the CIA and Department of Defense wanted when they signed the previous nuclear agreement during the Obama administration. The cash delivered by Obama very well might have been an emotional disinformation campaign to prime Iran's focus towards administrations, not the Pentagon and its affiliates. The larger strategy seems to control the evolution and fluctuation of power in the Middle East overall. You can get hints of this bird's eye view strategy in the recent video circulating of Trump's pal, Vladimir Putin, telling Assad of Syria, who is Iran's strict ally, that he should extend the olive branch to Trump because he will listen. I'll go ahead and link to the video in the description and comments if you're interested. Back to the recent Iran conflict. You can very well see that they do not have a history of engagement, but more so of retort. A prime example of this is when the UK held up Iranian oil tankers. In response, the Iranians held UK oil tankers. This is a pattern of behavior that can be seen throughout Iran's history since after the Iranian Revolution in 1979. Ultimately, the fact that the Ayatollah tweeted about Iranian Airlines 655 from 1988 and that the plane from Ukrainian Airlines was full of Canadians still most likely felt like a jab back at the Americans. The reason being is that Canada is part of what the US intelligence calls the Five Eyes. The Five Eyes is a coalition between the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, New Zealand, and Canada. Basically, the international community knows that the US, plus those four I just listed, are brothers if anything goes down. The international community also knows that we use those countries from the Five Eyes as proxies to do things for us, which we can't be seen doing officially. It's highly likely the Iranian military sees a plane full of Canadians as the same as a plane full of Americans. Shooting down our Ukrainian Airlines was the closest thing they could get done to responding to the US downing of Flight 655 from Iran, which killed 290 Iranians. After the Soleimani assassination, the Iranians may have wanted us to pay our long standing bill of killing 290 of their own. The narrative we are witnessing in the news most likely is a more palatable version of what the everyday American citizen can understand. In reality, this is a high stakes, long game, full of cloak and dagger moves and disinformation statecraft. In the case of US and Iran conflict relations, seeing might necessarily not be understanding.